Hi, I'm Al Landever, Landever AI, and this is the sixth in the series, I believe, of videos that I'm making, kind of just showing different blocks that we can use with this no-code chatbot builder. Kind of just give you a quick overview of where we are with this chatbot. Obviously, you start, and it's going to go through a password check process, kind of just to demonstrate this block right here, which is the variable block. So when we go to blocks, condition variable. So that block right there is being put into action right here, and I'll open it up for configuration so we can see what it looks like. And it says if the password guess, which is, they've said what they think the password is. If it's equal to 1234, then that's the condition. So if it is, then come out here. If it's not, come out here. Incorrect, try again, loop back up to the top. If it is correct, you come out of here, you go, and now you're talking to Claude, and you can go ahead, and it's going to ask you your name, it's going to ask you your question, it's going to ask you if you want to keep talking about it. We've got a counter. If you say yes, you want to keep talking about it, you can only talk until the counter gets up to 4, and then it's going to kick you out. It's going to say, I'm tired, would you want this emailed? And if you said no, that you didn't want to keep talking, it would also say you want this emailed. Going to configure an email block right here, or it's sending the content of the chat, all the variables that were created by the AI or the variables that are created by the user when they, whatever their questions were, they can all be emailed and shared. So that's the chatbot that we've got so far. So I want to take it to a new level. I mean, right now what we have is 2 AI agents involved. We have one up here and one down here. But we're going to put a little separator in the beginning and kind of give the opportunity for the user to branch in some other direction. So to start that off, I'm just going to make a little bit of space, and I think I'll just take my password thing and stick it up over here. This is all my password related blocks. And so once they finish their password, rather than go to here, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to want them to come to my message, which I'll put right here. So it's saying, would you like to speak directly to Claude, which is the large language model, or would you like to chat about the data that I've been trained on? Okay, so that's just going to be the message that people are going to get, and we'll give them 2 buttons. One will say Claude, and the other button will say training data. So they'll pick what they want to talk to. So if the password is equal, then they're going to come to here. And then it's going to say, you want to talk to Claude? If they say yes, well, then it's just going to go ahead and do that and do all of that business. If they say they want to talk to the training data, well, now we're going to come into a different direction. Okay, so this is our chatbot as it stands now. We've added some more section to it. So you'll notice at start, it's going to go and do the password check, and then when it completes its password check process, it's going to come to here and say, would you like to speak directly with Claude, or do you want to talk to training data? So if they say Claude, it's going to basically do the chatbot as we've become accustomed to it, as we've been building it. And if they say training data, then it's going to come here to this area, which is some new stuff that we've just added in. So what will happen is it'll start off with a send message block that says, hello, I've been trained on specific set of information. Would you like to see my training data? If they say yes, it's going to come to here, and it's going to link, and you can literally go to the Google Drive folder where the training data is located. And then if they say no, they don't want to see training data, they just want to get working, well, what question do you have? It's going to capture the question, and then it's going to go ahead and present that question to the AI. Now, we haven't added the training data yet. I wanted to do that with you, so we'll go ahead and do that. And I'll show you the training data. So basically what we're talking about here is pretty simple. It's a school schedule. So you'll see it's got each of the elementary school grade levels and when they have their specials and all of the block times. So we'll be able to ask this chatbot questions about this. I just want to point out one thing real quick. Notice it says when the gym is being used on Mondays and Thursdays. It doesn't ever say the gym is free on these days, right? There's nothing in here that tells us when the gym is free. We can figure that out pretty quickly because we have human intelligence. But this training data doesn't really provide anything other than when it's being used. Okay, so we're going to train our chatbot on this data. So the way we do that is we go to our dashboard. We click on knowledge base. And click on add new. And here's where I could put in a website URL, or I can put in a sitemap URL, or a whole list of URLs, just really good content. I want to put text in, so I'm going to grab that. I'll paste that in here. So here we go. We've got that whole schedule. This is what we're going to be training our chatbot on. Scroll down to submit. Okay, and now let's take a look here. So notice it says one source, one's pending. It's showing us what it is and how many characters it is. This is a really important thing to pay attention to. Sometimes it hiccups and misses a lot. So you can see right there. You can hit refresh and we'll see what's happening. Okay, so it's done it. It's gone. It was pending before. Now it's processed. So it's good. So now our chatbot has been trained up on this information. Now, what's interesting is it didn't save the information we gave it. It just trained the large language model on it, and then it deleted it. So our information is not going to be used for any other purpose, not for any other training. Okay, so now we've got our chatbot trained up. So it's going to ask what question do you have. It's going to capture that. It's going to put it to the variable training data question, and then this prompt is just training data question. We haven't done any real prompt engineering yet. And then we'll just kind of do a loop back, and rather than keep having to say what question you have, let's pull these two guys out. Do that. So now it'll loop back, and we'll just kind of stay there talking about training data. In an endless loop, we could always add a counter like we did over here to break them out of that loop if we wanted to. Save. Preview bot, password. Would you like to see my training data? Sure, let's see the training data. Here's the link. So click on the link. There it is. It's Google Doc. You can't see the URL, but it is the URL for a Google Doc, so that worked very well. So now I close that window. Hello, I've been trained. So basically just, because that's right where we were, right here. So train data, and it came right back to it. So I could have had it pass right down to here. So would you like to see my training data? No, we've seen your data. What questions do you have? And now I'm going to ask it, why is the sky blue? Now we know it has not been trained on why the sky is blue. Before it was able to answer it, but now that we're directing it to its training data for its responses, it's not going to give us an answer. So it's only going to talk about what it knows. When does first grade have art? So it's looking at its large language model that's been recently retrained, and it's coming back with Spanish. So please in English. So I can give it instructions to force it to respond in English. So now it's gone ahead and it's done that. Now, remember I mentioned that it doesn't tell us when the gym is available. It only tells us when the gym is being used, right? So first goes art. So I'm going to say, I'm saying the mayor wants to use the gym for a town council meeting during the day. He needs 3 hours. There can be no classes in the gym during the meeting. What time is the gym available for the mayor? Now, that's going to take a lot of thinking, right? Because we didn't tell it when the gym's available. So let's see what it comes back with. Based on the school schedules provided, I can suggest potential time slots. 3-hour town council meeting. Here are times the gym's not being used for classes. Early morning before, late afternoon after 3:30. Midday gap. There's a period between 12:45 when there's no grade level scheduled. Midday gap seems to be the best option. So we're having a comprehensive conversation with this large language model about that school schedule, just about that data. It's not going to talk to us about anything else but the data that we've trained it on. So we've now added some more features to our chatbot, and we've got some good branching, and it's kind of becoming a little bit unwieldy. There's some other things we can do as far as having it accept inputs, so we're going to do that in a future video. Thanks.